Hey, it's Mike from Realistic Sustainability. Ads are an important part of the show. They help keep us going. We hate things like paywall or pay to listen or separating certain kinds of content from our existing content. To be honest, we like to keep it all available. It's sustainability. It's information. We like to keep it all free. To do that, well, we've allowed ads. Some are partners, some are through Spotify. We have listener donations. Those help a ton. And if we had enough of those, we wouldn't even allow commercials. Or we even do things like the product reviews, where if you buy something on a link through the site, well, we get a few cents for it. And for those of you who are already starting to do that, thanks. We've added my favorite books and some of the documentaries I recommend. If you buy some of those, Realistic Sustainability gets a little bit back. So don't do it just to do it, but if you really want to and you were going to anyways, use the link. But anyways, what you may not know is Anchor, the hosting site that we used, was bought by Spotify, and they've decided that Realistic Sustainability has a large enough fan base to receive ads. One thing I don't like is they want it in the middle of the show. Yeah, I don't really like that. I'm kind of a consumer of podcast, and it bugs me when you stop the flow of a show and throw an ad in the middle. Now, not to say that it will never happen, but as of right now, we've kind of found a way around it. Since we're already helping other podcasts like The Curated Culture, and if you're not checking it out, you should. Rob Bogan is still awesome. It allows a gap in the show because Spotify doesn't know that that's an ad in the beginning, that we're working with a partner. So, what you're going to see is two different ways. One, in the front of the show, there's a partner ad or this PSA. Then the Spotify, then the show, the whole show. It's the best way I can find so far to keep the whole show together. And again, at some point, they may catch us and they may make us fix it. But for now, I just wanted to let you know we kind of need to do the ads, mainly to keep the show going. But also, I don't want to tear up the show by putting things in the middle. So right now, this is the way we're handling it. So as always, I appreciate all of you for listening. I appreciate your patience. And for many of you, your generosity. And we will always do the best we can to offer the best show and do what we can to minimize the interruptions. Thank you. And, well, I guess enjoy their advertisement, then our show.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, and welcome back to Realistic Sustainability Educational Shorts. For years here on this show, we have talked about creating kindness projects, much like Duran's Edible Landscape Project. Well, if you're one of the people who's starting to think about doing it, we're midway through January. It's time to start thinking about it, or at least start creating the action plan that will make sure that your project is successful. I bring this up because part of getting these projects done is preparation. I would dare to say preparation is the largest chunk that helps you get your project done, because there's a little bit of research. For the edible landscape project, I had to know who to ask permission from, and I needed to schedule that meeting, have everything ready so that I could present it to them. That preparation was important. Just the knowledge of knowing who to talk to was important. Luckily, I have a Superman on my side. Mayor Jeff helped kind of guide me through the process, but you may not have that. So you have to go up to your city and start asking questions if needed. Or for the edible landscape project, we didn't have the money to just buy a bunch of plants. So we had to start planting them in advance and planting them somewhere. Starting those seeds was probably the best thing we ever did, because by the time we got a yes, I had a whole basement full of plants. Now, year over year, we learn different things, and that's where the lessons learned coming in. We learned that we had to map out our planting, knowing which plants we wanted to grow to make sure that they were in the right places. Because I think you remember a couple years back, the quote unquote watermelon that people took, and it ended up being pumpkins, and it grew huge and covered the whole area, that stuff. So now we change it. We've gotten different plants for different areas, and it even helps the volunteers, because in the past, volunteers almost got to pick what plants went where, which didn't help us either. Now, Superman Mayor Jeff, of course, royalty in the town, and I get to sit down, pick our placement, And then we will go through and set the plants where they're supposed to be planted, where volunteers will then follow and plant them in the ground. It's this preparation that will continue to make the Edible Landscape Project better and better every year. But if we don't start planting in January, we're certainly not going to be ready in May or June. It takes a little bit of work sometimes. So that's what this short's about. Reminding you, if you've got a project coming up or you are planning a project, it's kind of time to get on it. It's time to get started, even if it is just writing it all down. Personally, everything I have, all my action plans and milestones, of course, they're in an Excel document. Silly. I don't know why you would think they weren't, but that's where I track it. And I get times and dates and milestones I want to hit. That way I can make sure that I hit all the things I need to make sure that my programs work. And I can track the things that didn't work and make it better over the years. So, just like our plant placement, we can take that information, throw it into my file, or sometimes the website, and then revisit it the following year and learn from those mistakes. This short is simply this: a reminder. If somehow, some way I've convinced you to start a kindness project of your own or even a sustainability project of your own, it's time to start looking at it. Time to start getting ready. You might have to start plants at a certain date. You can't forget to do that because you can't hurry them up if you miss it. You might need to go get those permissions like we did here in the city, or you just might need help and it's time to do your recruiting. Either way, it's now time for that action. We've been saying it. Now it's time to start the doing. Plus, I got to tell you, for those of you in the Midwest here, and it's still very chilly and it's still very winter, you'll feel a little warm. You're doing spring stuff, and it kind of helps the feeling of spring coming quicker, creates optimism. And for those of you who do create your project and you do track it, hey, join the Greening Your Life Facebook group. Post it on there. Post updates. We love to see it. Thank you so much for listening. And for those of you starting projects, thank you so much for starting projects. Kindness projects are what's going to make the world a much better place. We appreciate you listening. And if you like this show, share it with a friend or on social media. If you want to support realistic sustainability, you can start with iTunes 5-star reviews. Leave us comments, all the normal things I usually say here. And if you really feel that realistic sustainability offers some kind of value in your life, you can go to greeningyourlife.org/podcast. And there, that is where you can donate to the show. You can donate $1 per month, $5, $10, whatever works for you. And Nick and I, we certainly appreciate it. And thank you for all of you who already do that. And remember, we get together each week just to get a little bit better. Little bit, big bit. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next week.